Hello everyone and welcome to what is really the first ever Battalion tutorial. I'm going to be doing these live instead of the old way where I used to just record the footage and talk over them. I feel like doing them live is pretty good these days, pretty beneficial, much better than I used to be maybe 5 years ago when I used to make tutorials to COD 4, so I could actually do stuff live now without actually having a script. First map I'm going to do is Liberation, just because it's the one that we really played on the most in the early days of the game. Obviously I'll go through them all. This video is really just for like tips and tricks. There won't be really as many of these kind of like small, things that you can learn as there was in COD 4, because COD 4 had a lot of problems, and in this game, when there are bugs and glitches, most of them do get removed. So I wouldn't expect too many things, but there are, some small things that you can learn, some jump spots that would be good for someone who's new to the game. And this is really what this is for, is like a beginner thing for the game. So we'll start off here on the attack side of the map. This isn't really anything special, it's just a nice spot that you can get into to come up here and peek the sniper here, or hold this area. Most people aren't really looking in this area when they're wide peeking this. Coming into middle here, in this section you have these market stalls. This is apparent for every single market stall. Basically they're all modeled the same and just reskinned, so you can actually come into the corners of these. If I can actually get it, there you go, and there's like a little lip there where you can jump up. So this is obviously good for coming in here. If you have this smoked off, you can kind of peek up, take control of the middle. This is actually especially good, this one, because you can jump up on this wall and jump in triple building here. This is the only way to get into triple building, really. The main way is coming up these stairs. So if you have someone in here, you can come up behind them here. It will make noise. It's not like it's silent or anything, so you will make noise. You have to be aware of that when you're doing it. But it's actually one of probably the more useful jumps in this map. Coming over to the site here, it's the same thing over here. You can jump up on here too, if I could actually do it. There you go. So again, it's just taking some kind of height advantage, trying to be in like a different position than you would normally be, like holding these kind of angles. Same again on over here. Okay, so moving around to middle. This is actually something that's quite nice. These tables here, you can just run up and jump over the wall. It's very smooth. It was left in and really intentionally put there. It's quite nice to come up like this. From this wall you can obviously get onto the tank and again come all over the middle. You used to be able to just jump on the tank from the floor, but it got changed because it was a bit overpowered. So you can obviously get onto the tank like I was coming up here as well, but it's not so smooth coming from over here. From here you can also strafe onto these boxes. Well, that was a bit weird. And from here you can actually get into triple building again, so that's another way you can get in here. So there's 3 ways you can potentially get into this building. So coming around to this back alley around here, and there's not really too much around here, but I found like this is quite what I would say is a keen spot. Is if you come up on these bins and you can look through here, you can kind of just like get a little angle if someone peeks around this corner. The chance of someone really standing there and peeking that is pretty slim, but it might be good to get like a glimpse of some information. If someone comes back from middle and jumps through there, you'll be able to call that. It's just one of those small things that will probably be, it could be used potentially at higher level play. These small things are what really adds to the game. Of course you have this like jump here. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can see if people push your spawn, see if people are pushing here, hold this, try and get some information. It's a pretty nice jump spot. You also have this here. I'm just going to quickly change my weapon. Just had to give myself a weapon so I'm a bit faster when I'm moving around. This spot here is kind of like one that you can only really ever use once a game. Like you can come in here and you can sit in here and prone and whatnot. It's a spot that probably most people are going to love to hate. It was obviously added in purposely. You can only really use it, as I said, once a game, where people are going to know that you're in there once you kill them once, and it's always going to be checked. It's not something you can play often on this site, really, and I'm pretty sure you'll be able to nade in there if you really want to waste a nade on it. Another thing here, this door, you can kind of like come up here and use this to see over this angle a little bit. It's not super beneficial, but I mean, if someone's like wide peeking this, that people do to try and peek onto the arches here, that you're going to see them first if they come around. If they're close like this, then you're not really going to see them. But again, they have to peek like super wide to get you. But you could just hide here. But again, just one of those things, small things you can like kind of run into quick like that. So if you're actually up here and you're playing this, you can just drop straight in the window and come around. Some other small things, maybe just tiny things that aren't really that beneficial. You can kind of jump on these little arches here, and same there. I believe it's actually the same for these ones too. Whether you would use that in a game or not, I don't know. Again, another small spot you can play here. It's you're pretty open to that anyway, and you can jump up here and on that one too if you can jump, unlike me. So coming back to this spawn area, there is actually something that I missed here that I didn't think about before. You can come into this sniper house here, and I mean I don't know when I'd ever use this in a game, but it's nice to know regardless. If you can jump and get up on this roof here. I mean, maybe if you like COD Jumper, maybe it could be a keen spot. You never know if you can get up there quick. No one's really going to expect you up here. It's just a cool spot really. So yeah, that might actually be it for this map. There isn't really much else to show because, as I said, the game doesn't really have that many small tips and tricks. There might be some more on the other maps, but for Liberation, this is pretty much it for now, and I shall see you in the next video.